four, three, two, one. Thank you for joining our show today. This is Hanniz. I'm the host of Tête-à-Tête with Hanniz Lam. And with me today, I've got two special people from two working spaces in Malaysia. I've got Stephanie Singh with me from Worq and Bruce from Union Space. So they have been in the co-working industry for some time already. So I'm just going to introduce them properly. So Stephanie is basically the co-founder and CEO of Worq. They're a hyper-localized community workspace founded in March 2017. She graduated from Stanford University with a BA in economics and MS in management science and engineering. So with her experience as a Stanford entrepreneurship community playing a significant role, she helped to shape her vision for Worq's entrepreneurial community. On the other side, Bruce, he's the country director of Union Space Malaysia. He has an extensive experience in advertising, events, and the food and beverage industry. So he has actually run eateries before, which includes Tom, Dick, and Harry, Oops, Ali, Mutu, and Ahok, Crazy Crab.
My favorite.
But unfortunately, he's already left the scene, and he decided to join Union Space, heading up the startup in Thailand first, and then after that, once it was more steady there, he returned to Malaysia. So with great aspiration to further build and expand the Union Space brand in 2019. So, as anyone would agree, it's much easier to restart the business. A lot of businesses are either on a hold, or they're pivoting, or they're just basically trying to minimize risk and crisis management recommendations, and maintaining the community spirit is actually essential right now. How has your organization adapted to its business plan? Can I start with Bruce?
Sorry, again?
How has your organization adapted your business plan to adapt to the new way of things? Yeah.
Well, I guess looking at the market right now, we have to do something different already. This whole just doing co-working space is not going to be paying the bills anymore. So we've actually put a few plans in the pipeline. One of it is to actually convert some of the spaces that we have into a storage space. So we're going to move into doing a full storage, inventory and logistics service that we're going to provide people. That's one idea that I think we will be launching, hopefully by end of this month for that. And then, of course, because the other thing that we're looking at is, how people are doing a lot of online training programs and calls, and they sell stuff. So we're looking into converting some of the space that we have into a studio, studio for people to do this kind of stuff. And they are also experimenting like the green screen where they have those technology stuff.
Good idea. E-commerce is, of course, growing in big numbers.
It's
they don't
crazy.
have their own in-house studio.
So we're looking into stuff like that now, because if you've been to Union Space, one of our big contributors was actually events, and unfortunately that's not going to happen anymore. I don't see it happening
for a while.
So we're gonna diversify the business a little bit into a lot of things. Like our place in Thailand, we've actually converted the Union Space Thailand into a few components: a cafe, a real cafe, a restaurant, and also a bar and a juice bar.
Okay.
So that's how we're trying to survive right now.
Yep. What about you, Stephanie?
Testing out my phones here. It doesn't work. One of those like cheapo phone free ones that you get on the phone. So I can get phones. Yeah, I mean, for us, basically we have launched our BCP. Actually, it was existing before the MCO,
Yeah.
but we have launched it more aggressively into the market, the BCP solution, which is a BCP sense of business continuity planning, which really is like a disaster relief site lah. So what that product is really is, if you are a company and you have not yet planned for your disaster relief site, um, then you definitely want to think about it now, because it's for, it's not just for COVID. You can think of it for, like, in Hong Kong, they had a lot, the Hong Kong riots and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. It's still happening now. So, or if your building, let's say, have a fire or something like that, and you need to deploy your team, especially your most critical team, within 24 to 48 hours to a space, you can do so, and it is guaranteed for you. And your internet and your VPN, everything is completely set up, in advance lah, right? So it's a bit like a space insurance product, where you pay the premium every month, and then if something bad happens, then you get paid in space. You can move your team to our space in 24 to 48 hours. And then the other thing would be, now a lot of companies are doing kind of rotational programs, work from home, several different sites, and then rotate like that. So they're taking sites in our place under the BCP program as well, because it's their BCP, like rotational risk management. So then they take some in external sites, some in their HQ, and then they rotate like that. So that one is generally the reserve space lah. It's not a space insurance. You're getting it now, so it's actually getting room. The 600 ringgit per pax product, or else the space insurance one is actually, you're not using the space. You're just, tempah when you have a touch wood bad thing. So that one, I think, is like not so expensive. It's like maybe 5 ringgit 50 cents per pax per day. If you take longer, then it's cheaper lah.
Okay. So how are you encouraging your current members to come back? Because I know people are still very wary about going out. So I understand the hand sanitizers will be the basic. Also, the social distancing, perhaps you would have allocated certain areas which is cordoned off, and also the number of people that can come. So, Bruce, what has been put into place to encourage people to come back?
Okay, we, of course, disinfecting the place is a standard thing that we do. Also, we're making sure that we're following all the SOPs that's been given. Taking temperatures, finding out where they were before, and everybody just got to go through the whole process of coming in.
The registrations again.
Yeah, on a daily basis. Of course, limiting the common area. We're limiting to maximum 10 people. What else are we doing?
Temperature checks will be one.
Is that 100% temperature checks? And basically just following the government guidelines and what's happening now.
And what about you, Stephanie?
Yeah, I agree with Bruce. So, some things that we've been like doing a lot, almost every day we are talking about this. So the easier things to do is like temperature checks, the hand sanitizers, the declaration form. If you're a member, you already would have the card, and so we can, take your attendance when you and all that. But if you're a visitor, they're not allowed they're only allowed in the public area, which is the front desk and the meeting rooms, but not allowed to go inside. Whereas in the past they're allowed to, but they have to write, like a declaration form, so we can contact trace or anything like that. There's a whole lot more hand sanitizer. So today I walked in, I didn't realize there was a new hand sanitizer, so many like around. I went nearby and then something like, it's like the thing like flashed down on me, and I'm just like, hey, I didn't realize the hand sanitizer here. Oh, it's new, they tell me. Okay. It's like, everywhere. And then, like this kind of spray bottle with the sanitizer. New things that, I also don't know how to use. When I saw it, I was like, how come there's no cloth to wipe this place? This thing, because you spray, it's like the gym, right? We provide in all the meeting rooms, so we spray, then you wipe, right? Then I'm like, oh, there's no cloth, then how am I supposed to wipe the chair? Then the staff said, actually, you are not supposed to wipe it. It's supposed to stick to the surface, and that's how it works. So, we are learning from it. Then we have to put the actual label there to tell people, don't wipe it off and all that stuff. So, like this kind of things we're looking at in like more sort of like more big, like more bigger solutions for, like, say, the door, if possible, if people don't need to push, like, say, the door, two flaps, and right, one side open this way, one side open that way, so that you can just use your bathroom to
or whatever.
this kind of stuff, like a lot lah. Like, I don't remember what else. The operations team can give you a list you want.
Like a strict mask on throughout.
Yeah, strict mask on. You get told to put it on, that kind of stuff lah. But I think during, because we are researching also lah, during the hotel, the Ritz founder, Mr. Ritz, I guess, he also, somebody
making coffee, is it?
that's all I mean. Clinic. So the Ritz, he was saying at that time, he had to go through cholera. Yeah. So we do the same lah. Whatever he did, he put on a cleaning squad lah, cleaning brigade, and basically have all the SOP, all these things lah. So we do the same
for your staff. A lot more work for your staff.
Yes, a lot of work for them. But we've also cancelled all events, right? So normally they are using the time to do the events and put the tables and chairs and service the events, right? And Bruce knows that's a lot of work as well. So they're not doing that now. So they are doing more of the cleaning brigade things, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A lot of companies are also encouraging their staff to continue working from home. But obviously not every employee will have the facilities that is needed, for example, a desktop or laptop or internet. How are you encouraging companies to use your space, Bruce?
It's like a trap, right?
Ha!
I went to Bruce space to makan that day. So already succeed, Bruce. I feel very safe.
Yeah. But I'm not, actually, I have no answer for that.
Okay, maybe not in place yet.
It's not in place yet. I mean, basically now we're just trying to encourage our existing members to come back first, and then from there we do how we're going to support these guys. I'm not going to purchase any computers at the moment.
Yeah. I think the companies will be more than happy to actually provide the basic needs. It's just that, because it will be closer to home for a lot of employees, so they would look for maybe co-working spaces that are closer to their staff, or at least a central point for everybody to just go to location-based co-working spaces. What about you, Stephanie? Do you have anything in place to encourage companies to send their staff there?
Yeah, they have nowadays like work from home, rotational, but then when they work from home, it's also not 100% conducive for productivity, you see, because if it's like a interview like this, it's okay, but if they want to do collaborative work, things that you have to point at the screen, any creative things, making presentation, kind of like where you need the whole group, or creative designers, this kind of thing, architect, and that they were trying to collaborate, come up with a new flow chart for some of our systems. It's impossible to do it on Zoom, and we just it took 2 weeks still not done.
Yeah.
So the moment we are allowed to go in, we have to meet lah. So we took a meeting room in our own space, obviously with social distancing. Like now the meeting room supposed to be for 6 people, now it's only for 4 people. Supposed to 8 people, it's only for 5 people, this kind of thing. So we just had to meet up and get some work done. And I think, some of the people have to do this as well. I think they may want to go nearer to their own homes, and just single there, have some kind of a like meeting room, or else on a hot desk. They can buy the hot desk to just come inside and sit in the corner and that kind of stuff, and do the work lah. Not necessarily going into, say, downtown or something to work in your own office, but just somewhere you can concentrate as well, get away from also your own home and the distractions of the house, to just get some work done. So, is our normal product is like, the hot desk product. It's also the meeting room product. But it's customer base is a little bit different lah. It's the work from home, maybe corporate, not anybody. Not like they don't come every day lah.
Okay. And for the businesses that are already in your space, using your facilities, they are also mostly struggling with their own businesses. Is there any way that you can offer support to them? Are there programs that you're running?
I guess, I mean, from my side, what we have done is we have deferred payment for, the month of April and May. Certain percentage of their rental has been deferred to later date, so they start paying for the year. And I mean, that's the way we can support them. Because we asked what do we want. Everybody says, give us a discount and stuff like that. So so we work. We also give based on our negotiations with our own landlord. We went from we got everybody a good discount for the next 6-7 months coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But any little effort helps, actually, I'm sure. Yeah, because especially I think people who use the co-working spaces, some of them are just solopreneurs, and they are pretty much hard hit as well.
Those guys who has like 2-3 months passes with us, we actually extended their packages for them, so at no extra charges.
That's very cool.
What
about you, Steph?
Yeah, I think you give as much as you can. I think that's the rule of the thumb, right? And as long as sincere, then is okay. So for us, we give for 3 whole months, we give 30. Even though MCO 30% off for 3 months. Even though MCO is less than maybe how long? 6 weeks, something like that.
I've lost track.
I've lost track already. Like it's a pretty less than 2 months lah. So at the end of the day, is should amount to more than 50 or 60% as a whole of the MCO period, right? And like actually someone told me 90%. I didn't do the math, but basically every month this happens. We're like, okay, let's give. We announced already in advance, but then the MCO didn't get, the Prime Minister, stopped it early, but we didn't retract it lah, right? So I think the discount was a good, well received, and the most important is we give it fast. Immediately happens, then we announce fast. I know. So I think that's quite key also lah. So people are not like waiting and what's going on kind of thing. So that kind of stuff lah, and like we do know the members quite well. Like if they do give us any if they have any problems or whatever, the community is quite strong lah in that sense, where they help each other and we also help them. So like some people know where companies still have budgets to spend on. Let's say there's a commercial maker. This company, some governments still got budget. So they know people inside the government agency or something and introduce them and say, okay, since your customers base, should change now to more stable budget, like government budget or something like that, then you should, you now look for this kind of customers and make an introduction lah. So then we make an introduction and they get business from there. These kind of things lah.
And because Worq, you have a few locations throughout the Klang Valley, are members restricted to only stay in their registered point, or are they able to move around to other stations, other outlets?
They with this what do you call it, that product, passport product, that means if they have a normal product and your main outlet is say in Subang, but you do need to go to the other outlets. You just add 100 ringgit and you can use all the other outlets whenever you want lah. It's
So
just a
there's no restrictions even with the CMCO. They are still allowed to go to different outlets.
Yeah, if they want to go to the other ones, because I mean, like, you can understand how, like, if someone's working from home or something, and then they need to sometimes meet their colleague in somewhere nearer to their colleague's house or something, then they need to go there lah. And we do take precautions in terms of knowing where they have been and which outlet they have been. In terms of the, like, we take down the details and all that stuff. So if anything happens, like touch wood, then we can contact trace and stuff as much as we possibly can. Of course, this is a new situation and we are constantly monitoring it and doing our best and like trying to improve the situation and the processes as much as possible lah. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna end the session, but I would like people to, of course, reach out to you, and with all the offerings that you have, please share with us, Bruce, how can people contact you for your storage services in the logistics services and whatnot you're going to roll out slowly this month, I think. So, a lot of plans. Call you.
I just call me there because I'm running operations together with my community manager actually. So, and it's a new business that we're all looking into. I mean, I'm actually quite excited to look into this and see how it works. So,
all right. How do they reach you? Should I just like publish your number on this? Really?
Yeah, of course. All right.
Okay, then you share with the world. What's your number?
+6012 299 7598.
Thanks, Bruce. And what about yourself, Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, like, just want to say, we want to collaborate with, people like Bruce, all the other co-working spaces, whether, like there's some difficulty or not, we want to actually, work with them and see how we can also support them, any kind of partnership that we can do with Bruce or any other co-working spaces out there. Any other sort of companies moving out their own space and like not needing their own space anymore. We of course we are selective and we see, but then it's not a no. We have to think about it and all that stuff lah, right? So happy to be reached out to as well as the customers. Always happy. And the phone number. You want my personal handphone?
I'm sure a lot of people will want to catch up you.
Actually, not really lah. I don't got lah sometimes. It's 010-2346-704. This one is the outlet for lah.
Repeat one more time slowly.
Repeat 010-2346-704.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Yeah. And please subscribe to this channel. We also need support, as much support as we can get. Thank you, guys, and have a great week.
Thanks, honey.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.